Yeah, they need to make an investment.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, it's Lindsay Huddleston with SPS back in the building over at the historic Callahan Hall for Chris Roberts Presents the Best of Michigan Showcase. And I talked to Chris just on half court a second ago, and he said he wouldn't be where he would be now without his fellow Rookie of the Year.
We only two number ones, man.
Only two number ones.
Think about that, all the history in the state of Michigan when you talk about basketball. Overall number one picks is me and C.
So you know what I was going to ask you?
Yes.
When you was over in the corner fellowship, and I was like, how often are you in a room where there's other number one picks? Unless it's just like a NBA function.
Never.
Never.
No, first rounders, Carlos Rogers was here.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying today, but no.
Number one, and then this happened to be your guy on top of that.
Hey man, you know, I just watched him grow. You know, to be the person that he is, to come back to the city to create this and what he's doing today. And just for us being able to come out and support what he's doing, but we're also working on these whole collaborations that we're going to start doing, you know, next month and this summer.
Yeah, you speaking on that, you've been doing some outstanding things with your work. You've been putting washing machines as well as pantries, all these other things. Why are you locking in on these certain type of items, and what impact is that having on these individuals?
Well, the thing is this, it's an elephant nobody in the room wants to address. You're talking about food, and when you're talking about our kids coming to school with clean clothes.
Right.
So when I was looking at the summer league this past year, I'm like, I'm tired of giving away trophies. You know, and I asked my son this. I said, man, what are you going to do with all this stuff in my transition? It's going to be in storage somewhere. You're going to forget about it. Yeah. So for me, it's just now my life is just all about impact. How do we impact what we're doing to the kids? What's a better way to impact them than creating laundry rooms in their schools where not only just the coaches can watch team uniforms and stuff like that, but even for the kids that come to school to be able to watch their clothes.
We know that's a challenge that many of us probably take it for granted because we live. You know, talk about your relationship with Chris, and I joke, I know you got on the phone with him to get him right. What does it mean to be at this point in 2025 where it feels like that energy is coming back, where everybody's coming back home with all this lived experience, and you're able to impact things in different ways?
Well, it's a must. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm president of our NBA chapter here. We had a meeting a couple weeks ago, and the same question I asked him. I said, guys, let me just ask you something. I mean, I'm sitting in the room, Terry Mills, Grant Long, Greg Kessler, Tim McCormick, Mike Davis. I mean, it's probably 15 of us. Jeff Greer, Ira Newton. And I'm like, guys, look around the room. Who knows more about basketball than we do? Nobody. Who has more relationships than we do? So why are we sitting back letting people who don't know anything about the game of basketball try to show the world what Michigan basketball looks like? So it's time for us to change that, you know. And again, being here today to support what Chris is doing, you know, these tournaments. You know, I did this years ago.
That's right. That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? But again, I understand what his mission is, and I'm like, bro, it's strength in numbers in what we do. And again, who knows more about basketball? What parent will walk in the gym and you got Chris Webber, Derrick Coleman, Jalen Rose, Carlos Rogers. I mean, the list is right. It's not going to listen to what we're talking about.
Right. Well, that's important. We got some more time here, man. Talk about the state of high school basketball. I know you've been putting some effort into that too. You say how much time we got?
Yeah, how much time we really got? It's just sad. You know, I just don't think we love it no more like we used to. And again, for me, I had a national AAU. I had the national guys from Florida fly to Detroit 2 weeks ago to talk about this very same thing, even with AAU basketball. Because you got a lot of people out here that are saying that it's AAU basketball, and it's not. They're not registered as a club. Their kids are not registered. When I played AAU basketball, we had an AAU card. Everybody. And what has happened, we haven't done anything here in so long that everybody's just going to create all these different teams and plan and lying to these parents.
Under the name saying it's AAU.
Under the name AAU, and it's not AAU.
It's not. It's not. And we know that could be a liability.
It's always a liability. You're charging your parents $1,500. How much you playing AAU? So even the tournaments that are going on, none of these tournaments are sanctioned by the AAU, but you're using that AAU logo.
Wow.
So we're just in a position where, you know what? I'm shutting all that down. you want to host a tournament or do something in the state of Michigan and you talk about egg, if you stick that egg, you roll on, you got to come and see me.
Yeah, so they got to come correct.
That's right. You got to come correct.
They got to come
But
correct.
with Chris and Jalen, like I said, and Carlos and all of us, we're going to start hosting and doing our own events and stuff like that because we just want to see basketball back and play the right way.
Yeah. Well, I think individually, like you can do it. I was with Tom Izzo a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And the reason I bring that up because he mentioned you when I was talking to him about Chris' event. And he mentioned you, that he had just talked to you about being engaged, and he pledged his support.
Always.
To give support as well. Well, we're going to get back to the game, but Derrick, give us a little bit more before we get up out of here, man, so we can stay on our toes and be focused on what's next. Anything else you want to share?
Well, I mean, again, man, in order for us to get basketball the way it used to be here in Michigan is that we have to really start with the babies. So we're looking at really elementary and middle school, you know what I'm saying?
You've been in that space,
been in that space because it's a great space to teach. We got to start teaching our kids really back about how to play the game of basketball, but also how to become young men. You know, it's always, for me, it's bigger than the sport, but the sport is what I got your attention with that.
Right.
So let me teach you how to become a young man,
right?
You know, through the process. Right. We got some great things coming up next month. We got the middle school MLK tournament we're going to do that we've done in Groves before. And then I was just sharing with Chris, we're going to create on Sunday just a legend skills and drills where we just invite kids to come into the gym. Everybody get a basketball.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to teach them just the fundamentals of the game of basketball. I was saying that, we'll talk with Manny Harris about
man,
you out here, you training kids.
Manny is a trainer extraordinary right now.
My guy, grew up in my neighborhood right around the corner from us, you know, and I'm like, hey, I need you because I ain't sliding the lines no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we need to bring our guys in because they're that next generation. That's what I'm telling them. It's like, hey, it's about y'all. It's not about me and Chris. We can bring these relationships to the table, keep continuing to build, but we need you guys to come in and take a space so y'all can continue the legacy of what we are.
Well, I know you being ahead of this is going to be great. We're going to get back to some basketball. You know, I always appreciate you.
Long,
my guy in the building.
Good to see you,
yeah,
man.
for sure. Derrick Coleman representing